Hi guys, welcome to the Eliot estate. We are in the lavender barn. Now you just watched the whole process of this barn being torn down, tagged, stored, and then resurrected by the Ohio Valley Barn Salvage. They are out of Morrow, I think that's how you say it, Morrow County, Ohio. So not too far from Amish country here in Ohio. But Randy and his crew, we've been working alongside them the last 2 years. Clearly now that it's up, their job is done, but they had done a wonderful job. So now this process has taken many years. I think it got done like 2 years ago, this late summer. And so it's taken quite a bit of time to get to where we are standing right now. I can remember talking to my father-in-law back in 2018 and I'm sure he's been dreaming about moving this barn for years previously to 2018. But I can remember talking with him. We were coming up with ideas of what we could use this barn for back in 2018 and walking through it and just seeing all the beautiful history and this white oak, the beams that you're seeing behind me. It has taken many years. So where we are today, just know that there has been lots of time and money and hands on this project. Well, you can clearly see that it is a new day, and I'm sure that you can see that the barn looks a little different behind me. And that is because I lost a lot of files on one of my cards that I recorded the entire talking of the barn and drone footage of the lavender fields in bloom. When I went to France, I got some beautiful GoPro footage of the lavender fields there. I had a lot of footage that I had lost from a corrupt file. So unfortunately, we're gonna start. And I guess you get the benefit of the doubt because you get to see more progress of the barn. So I believe I was talking about Randy and his crew, the process of moving the barn. And so let's just jump right back in. Basically, long story short, Randy and his crew were awesome. They dismantled. I didn't have much dealings with Randy himself. My in-laws dealt with all of the logistics and process of moving the barn. I just got to witness it with drone footage and just watching the whole thing. So I'm super thrilled that this barn now has new life and it has a new purpose here on our family farm. So like I said, Randy and them, they came in, they analyzed everything. We ended up taking off a addition that wasn't original to the barn. They just dismantled everything. They tagged everything so nicely. I believe that we still have the barn siding and they took all the nails and stuff. They prepared it and stuff. So we do have the barn wood siding. We have a bunch of leftover timbers that would have been used as the ground sleepers of the structure of the barn where it was originally at. The whole process was awesome. They kept everything so nicely organized, and I could not recommend them enough, at least from my perspective. So like I had mentioned, when we were trying to decide what we were going to use this barn for, back in 2018, we originally thought, hey, maybe we can use that as a wedding venue. At the time, I was shooting weddings. I was a wedding photographer, and I thought that would be a great route to take. The longer I was in the wedding industry, the more I was like, I kind of want to steer clear of the whole wedding venue, wedding atmosphere situation. And that's whenever it was a year later in 2019 when I went to France and I got to see the beautiful French countryside. And then that's whenever things started to roll with different ideas. So I wanted to take the time, talk about the game plan for the barn. I wanted to give you a walkthrough. You can see that framing is now done. I just wanted to show you where we are at in this whole process. So like I said, in 2019, I went to France, thought it was amazing, thought it was very similar to here in Amish country. And I was like, you know what? I want to bring the French countryside to here to Amish country, Ohio. So Along the ways, I was like, you know what? We don't have any lavender fields around here. Let's make some lavender fields. And then that's when the whole idea of the lavender, the barn, everything just started to click and fall into place. So with the barn, we are going to be using 1/3 of it for an Airbnb space. Back here on the family farm, it's just so serene, it's beautiful. Alongside the lavender fields, it is going to be divine for somebody to come out here and just experience this whole experience that we're trying to create. So 1/3 of the barn is going to be Airbnb, which I will show you in a second. And then this part that I'm standing in is going to be like retail production space for the lavender farm. So without further ado, let me give you a little spin around and show you what we have right now, because we've had a framing crew in here that completed all the framing, all of the studs and stuff, and we are ready to move forward. Here are our big, massive front doors for the retail space. They are roughly, I think, like 10 foot by 11 or 11 by 10, something like that. They look scale to the barn, which is what I wanted. But whenever somebody stands next to them, the average person at like 6 feet tops about right here. So the actual doors are 9 feet plus the addition of the transom on top. It's 10 feet. And then it's just as big width-wise. So this is the beautiful retail and production side. You can see that all the original timber frame is intact. And then we went ahead with they're called SIPs, S-I-P panels. They're like just structurally insulated panels. And basically it's just like an OSB with like an insulated foam and then sandwiched between OSB boards. So that is what we used for our walls. And then our framing crew came in and they stripped down like 2x6 boards or 2x4s or something. And they put in all of the framing between all of the old barn framing so that way we could hide our electrical and anything else we need to into that framing. And then we're gonna have the framing, the barn, the old white oak frame or beams, I'm sorry, exposed next to a really clean drywall. So we'll have the accent of the old with a new build. So I will give you just a quick 360 pan. Back here in the back is just going to be office space that we can just tuck things into. Eventually, we will have another door going out that way to like a back garden patio area where we can have like maybe small little cocktail parties or something. And then on this side, you can see that they framed in an entire wall, and that 1/3 of the barn is going to be an Airbnb space. So we got 2/3 for the production and then 1/3 for the Airbnb, which I will take you over there because it is fabulous. When I was dreaming and scheming of the whole design and aesthetic for this barn, I really wanted the white oak beams to be a rustic added touch, just like a beautiful accent. It's just the most beautiful nod to the history of the barn. And of course we couldn't cover those up. Not an option. So I wanted the big structural beams left, and then we're going to be drywalling and then also having like stone veneer accents. So I want it to feel like you're walking into this European barn in the French countryside essentially. And then with the addition of the black trimmed windows and doors, I just thought it was very timeless and elegant, like a simple understated accent. I just think it's going to be so beautiful in the end. If you can imagine drywall, stone, veneer accents, and then of course like big crystal chandeliers that fit the scale of the barn hanging from this rustic, the rustic ceiling and pitch. Oh my gosh, it's just really cool. Way up in the top, there's the old like hay, what is it called? Like a pulley track system that they would have used for like putting their hay in the top loft areas and stuff. So I really love just like comboing the old with the new. Now these big, beautiful 9-foot tall windows, it's nice because they open and close so we can get a nice draft of air through here. And these top parts, I designed them to hold
old leaded glass windows that my in-laws had purchased. It was a really cool surprise. They had told me that they had these old leaded windows that they had purchased for the barn. They told me if I could fit them into the design of the barn, that'd be great. If I didn't see a need for them, not to use them, it's fine, no big deal either way. So right before I was getting ready to send off the order for the windows and doors, I was like, oh yeah, I have these leaded windows. I think it'd be awesome. We hadn't talked about the leaded windows since they initially had brought it up. So I was like, this would be a great surprise opportunity because I love a good surprise. And so I saw the windows they had, measured them up, got them all happy. And I was like, I can utilize these as accents. So I think it'd be really cool. So anyway, so I measured them out, found a place for where 4 of them could be utilized, and then I never said anything else. So whenever the windows and the doors were installed, I came out here temporarily, hung the leaded windows, died a little inside because they were so awesome. And then I brought my in-laws out here and they got to see all of the windows and doors for the first time. And then they got to see the leaded windows. So it was a really cool special touch that I was really happy that I could utilize the windows. And they look phenomenal. It's like they were always meant to be here, which was the goal. So now I will take you out through the barn. I'll give you an exterior look because we have the siding all finished. And then we'll walk around to this side where the Airbnb guests will be entering. It's so nice because we can, I'm gonna dream and scheme up a design plan for like a roundabout situation, but literally like feet from the barn is the lavender fields. So it's just steps away, and whenever it's in full bloom, it's going to be beautiful. So quick spin, and here is the exterior. So we went with white oak wood, and I love that it's a subtle nod to the structure of the barn. It has like a very honey colored tone right now, but it's going to, we're planning on letting it weather out to a beautiful like just weathered gray look. And then I don't know if we need to add a sealant or what, but we want it to be just very weathered. Like I said, I want the barn to feel like a very understated, beautiful structure. And then we're gonna accent with like a bunch of white hydrangeas and beautiful timeless landscaping that'll just really clean everything up. So here is a full little spin. We went with a gray metal roof. Again, very subtle. Just really wanted the barn to just kind of like fall into the landscape and just feel like it's just right tucked into the French countryside. And then if you can imagine just landscaping a little pathway up here for our Airbnb guest. And this is the side where they will be accessing. You can see that the grasses are just growing just ever so beautifully. Again, our door is 9 feet tall. I really wanted the doors and the windows to fit the scale of the barn. I didn't want anything too small, and I wanted it to feel like it was just meant to be here. So we go through this door. This is where the Airbnb guests will come in. And like I said, you guys get the full spin because all the framing is done. So this is the dining and living area. You can see that it's fully open. So they had to take out a couple of the framing posts here to get the scissor lift in here for hanging the framing and stuff. But right underneath this window will be a small kitchenette. It's very tight. We have to get creative on like a table situation. And then we will have like a small little sectional over in this area. I put this window up high because, you know, when guests or whenever like the public and stuff is outside in the lavender fields, I wanted a little bit of privacy for the guests staying in here, but I also wanted the beautiful south facing light to flood into this window. And then I have a big, large crystal chandelier that'll hang here. So whenever you're coming down the lane, hopefully you'll be able to see that crystal chandelier through this window. They had to take out some of the the smaller wood beams to fit the windows in, which is fine. As long as we had our big structural beams, that's all I really wanted. And of course, you can see like all of this will be on the exterior of the drywall, which will be really nice. So a quick little 360. I'll show you what we're looking at then. We have this really big, tall wall that separates the stairway. You can see that we have a loft space. And then I have these old European doors that are, I think, like close to 9 feet tall. And I really wanted this whole vista looking down the hallway, that you look down, you see a stone veneered accent wall, and then you see those old European doors, and then like a beautiful white linen king bed with maybe some like brass sconces or something on the side. So I want this vista just to be just beautiful and like I want to jump into that bed. So that is why we designed how we have it laid out with the framing and stuff. So as you walk down the hallway, to the right is going to be the shower room. And this is where one of the old leaded windows is going to be. We'll have a small little vanity right here, really small. And then over here is going to be a like a tiled walk-in shower. I added frosted glass windows for all the natural, beautiful light. And then we'll have a small little 30-inch wide pocket door. So the framing will be in here just quite a little bit, right in here. And then that pocket door will just slide back and forth for easy access. We are working on a really tight floor plan. And then opposite of that side, you can see that we're working with a sloped staircase. So we have a sloped ceiling, and it's going to be the same configuration, 30-inch pocket door that will slide back and forth. And this is the toilet room. So we'll have another small vanity here, toilet underneath the stairs, maybe some storage for linens and stuff. And then that is the toilet room. I'm standing in the shower room. So that way, if somebody, like if we have two couples or guests coming in, one of them can be getting a shower and they can also use the toilet room as well. I was having a little bit of issues with the swinging of these European doors because I want them to outswing because we are really tight on space in the bedroom. We only have about like 2 feet, I think, from the corner of the bed to the framing over here. And so I think what we settled on, and it has to be kind of reconfigured and stuff, but if we can make these European doors, pocket doors, to slide open and close this way, that'll save us a lot of like jumble up in here. So our doors for the bathroom and the shower, toilet and the shower room. And then if everything can be pocket doors, we don't have issues with swinging doors going into the open doorways. You know what I mean? So imagine these European doors as pocket doors. You come in and, you know, you have your king size bed here. You have beautiful set of windows right here. Again, another leaded glass window transom. Up top there, stone accent wall. And then maybe over here, just like a small little wardrobe or something that guests can put their things on and stuff like that. Here is the view coming the opposite way. And then we will go up to the loft. I love all the natural, beautiful light. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And then we wanted to utilize the loft area because I think it'd be great to be able to fit 2 couples in here if you wanted to come with some friends and stuff. So we had to come up with a game plan of how do we get upstairs that's safe and nice. And this loft space is really nice. Like, it's quite large. There's a lot of room up here. I originally designed this area to be like a separate closed off wall room, a closed off room. And whenever the guys made the loft, we came up here and we're like, oh man, this is beautiful. We gotta keep this open. So we decided on doing just a little pony wall, so that way you can see the crystal chandelier and all the beautiful timbers and stuff. But up here we'll have another king bed. I think we'll have to add in like a window of some sorts, maybe right in here. And I don't know what the configuration of the beds, maybe some sitting chairs and stuff up here, but it's a great additional space, and it gives you a nice look of the whole barn. Like it's so cool just to be able to look over. You'll see your little kitchen area and your couch and stuff. I think it'll be really cool. So again, this will all be walled in. It'll be insulated really nicely. And then I think it'd be really cool to have some like lights in this little stairway area.
So there's your quick little spin around, a little update documentary of the plan of the barn, kind of where we're sitting at right now. I'm so mad at myself that I lost that footage that I had originally talked about, because it would have been really cool just to see this place, to see the barn without all of the framing. But nonetheless, you get the benefit of the doubt. So that is our plan. We have Airbnb. We have a nice production space for the lavender fields. It's going to be so amazing. We're still tossing around opening next year. We're hoping and praying that we can get a bunch of stuff done and that we can have our first opening weekend and stuff in June of 2025. There's a lot of work to be done, and hopefully we can have people staying back here as well. Hope you like this quick little tour around the barn. I feel like I'm missing information that I should have shared with the whole process and stuff. But I hope this gives a little insight of where we're headed and where we've come from. It's been a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money, like I mentioned before. And we know it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a place of peace and just renewing and refreshing for guests to come out here and stay on the lavender farm. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time here at the Eliot Estate. Bye-bye.